Welcome everybody to Championship Soccer Stadium in scenic Irvine, California. It is a very vital match tonight in the USL Championship as Orange County plays North Carolina FC. Two teams that really need a victory today. And of course, Orange County have had some ups and downs this season. Morten Carlson departs to Europe to continue his coaching career elsewhere, but Paul Hardiman, who was the interim coach initially, was recently named the full-time coach. He's been a part of this organization through many ups and downs in his career, hoping to lead Orange County back to the postseason this time around. But they're going to have to improve their recent form, Chris.
Yeah, I think it's been tough for Orange County, and we spoke about the post-Milan Iloschi era. They started off the season very well, but then you lose Brian Iloschi. They're coming into this game, they don't have a man. They're missing a number of significant players, and it's not quite the same team. So you have a change in head coach, you're missing some of your big players. They're going for a very turbulent time.
The last couple of games, too, have really indicated that for Orange County, who sit in 7th place at the moment. They're still in a playoff spot, but Phoenix, Monterey Bay, and others trying to track them down.
Yeah, some strong teams behind them pushing to get into the playoffs. Things are getting extremely tight. They're going to need to find a way fairly shortly to start picking up 3 points, but that has to be matched with good performances, and they've been lacking both in recent weeks.
Tonight's player to watch is presented by Omega Accounting, and this player has been very, very strong for Orange County this season. Bryce Jamison has 4 goals to his name so far. He's been able to unlock defenses with his tremendous skill and ability. And, well, it goes back to something Paul Hardiman told us earlier in the week, that players like Bryce Jamison and others have to lead the way, but they have to find consistency in their overall play if they're going to make it stick. And you look at the East, where North Carolina is not in a playoff spot at the moment, and they have to pick up some results if they're going to get back into the top 8.
Yeah, I think that loss last week to Rhode Island put a little bit of distance between themselves and the playoffs, and you can now see that gap open up even bigger. 5-point difference now between 9th and 8th position. North Carolina have to start picking up points if they want to see themselves in the postseason.
And for North Carolina, they're going to have to hope that the likes of Evan Conway and others can step up. 7 goals, which leads them, and he's had 9 goal contributions since he first scored in the league back in May.
Yeah, he's obviously the top attacking player for them, and he has the ability to score goals himself, but also to get assists like he did in last week's game. North Carolina, though, have only won 1 away game so far this season, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they're able to come out and perform tonight.
And of course, Orange County are very, very tough to beat at the Champ. Just ask the other Western Conference foes that have come to Irvine this season. Big game for both teams in both tables in the USL Championship. We're excited to see how this one plays out in California tonight. The kickoff is next.
It's the community aspect of Orange County Soccer Club. And if you want to support local sports and local teams, this is like the definition of a local team. More than just a soccer team, it's more of a huge family that's coming together here to support the one and only professional team that we have here in Orange County.
OCSC is just such an amazing place to go with the family on Saturday nights. We look forward to it so much, and we can't get enough of it.
Kids grow up fast. You know when I first started noticing it? When I stopped getting hugs. With Command IQ, I found a way to get the hugs back. Watch.
Dad, the Wi-Fi is down.
Oh, let me see if I can fix it.
It's back. Thanks, Dad. You're the best.
With Command IQ, you can bring the hugs back.
Here in Orange County, passion runs deep for the beautiful game and for the community. That's why Patterson Autos is proud to be the official sponsor of the Orange County Soccer Club. From Tustin Mazda to Tustin Hyundai, Huntington Beach Mazda to Mission Viejo Kia. We're 4 dealerships strong, serving Orange County with the best selection of your favorite vehicles. At Patterson Autos, we believe in teamwork, community, and giving back. So join us in cheering on OCSC. Come visit Patterson Autos, your favorite Orange County dealer, and let's score together.
Sean and Chris back here with you. Let's jump into the Solfagari Law Firm starting lineups. We begin with Orange County.
Yeah, looking at a 4-4-2 formation. For Orange County, Kyle Scott has been a key player in this team. He's the midfield man, the engine, the man who's been making things happen. But as we spoke about, they're missing a number of key players. Head coach change, missing some key players. Turbulent times for Orange County right now.
On the other side of things, North Carolina sitting on just 1 road win. This is the team that'll try to change that.
Yeah, Conway is the go-to guy so far. 7 goals this season, got a nice assist last week. They were unfortunate to lose to Rose Island. They just didn't have the strength off the bench. But if they're going to find themselves in the playoff, they need to start picking up 3 points. The distance is getting a little bit big between 9th and 8th position. Carolina currently find themselves in 9th.
It's that time of the year. Teams pushing to make sure they have games to play towards the end of October in the postseason. Our referee Benjamin Meyer gets the match started here at the Champ in Irvine, California. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, our entire crew, happy to have you along for the ride. It promises to be an interesting one tonight. Orange County trying to hold on and stabilize a playoff position in a season that's been so unstable, it feels like, for them. North Carolina in their return to the USL Championship after winning USL League One a season ago. They've had plenty of ups and downs, but on the road, it's been mostly downs. They're hoping to change that tonight at one of the tougher places to play in the Western Conference. It's just another night of intrigue in the USL Championship, and we're thrilled to see how the chapters are going to be written tonight.
Yeah, and as you spoke about, Sean, we're entering the business end of the season where as much as we love to see exciting soccer, it's the phase of the season where you have to just keep picking up points, keep your postseason hopes alive, irrespective of how the game may look on the field. You have to win games. It's a business-oriented, it's a points-oriented industry, but also this phase of the season, the smart players start to look at their contracts for next season. They want to remain with their team, they want to remain on the rosters, and this is the time where the teams around the playoffs start to explore who's performing, who can they strengthen, who can they add next year to the roster, and obviously that's going to bring some uncertainty for players that are currently playing. So there's a lot at stake from many different aspects at this phase of the season for the team's aspirations, but also individuals looking at what their individual futures may look like for next season.
And the added extra wrinkle in this fixture in particular is that these two teams have never met. First ever meeting between these two clubs, so there's a bit of an unknown in that regard as well.
Yeah, and I always think that the East to West Coast games are a little bit more challenging. If you're a West Coast team going to the East, you're just playing a little bit earlier in the day. If you're an East Coast team and you're going to the West, right now for Carolina, it's 10 o'clock in comparison to a home game. So they're now kicking off at 10 o'clock. Their bodies are not necessarily accustomed to a 10 o'clock kickoff. They train in the morning. When they're at home, it's a 7:30 kickoff. So they're now kicking off 3 hours later than they would normally do. So their whole routine and scheduling is completely different to a home fixture. And that's why away games generally find themselves a little bit tougher to win, especially when you're traveling from East Coast to West Coast. So it's going to be interesting. At the end of the day, the game's to be played. You can't make excuses. You have to find a way to win. You have to find a way to pick up points, as we spoke about. So it's going to be interesting to see how Carolina are going to be able to adapt to that tonight.
Played back to Tomas Gomez, who's in for Colin Shuttler tonight. This stays in at least initially on the near side. Bryce Jamieson can't keep it in on the extra bounce. Just in front of Paul Hardiman, who's going to be the head coach the rest of the season as we look at Tomas Gomez. And for Orange County, Colin Shuttler is on the bench, but not between the sticks to begin the evening, of course. Jamieson closing down Ezra Armstrong. It'll go back to Orange County. That man's been through so many ups and downs in his tenure. He's been a big part of the youth development program, one of the best in the league for Orange County over the years. This ball's played in behind. That was a chance for Ryan Flood to run onto it. Jake McGuire, another experienced goalkeeper, he's onto it.
Good run in behind there from Flood. Yeah, it just hasn't clicked or hasn't got off to a start they quite would have liked to as a head coach, Hardiman. Obviously, as you spoke about, been with the club for a number of years, won a championship as an assistant. But now he's got the chance to be the head coach. Things just haven't clicked or things haven't quite gone out as he would have liked, despite knowing the players very well intimately, despite knowing the system, having done a lot of the actual coaching on field. Since he's taken the head reins, it hasn't quite gone as planned. So a little bit challenging times, whether it's been getting results or keeping players healthy, or again, I don't want to say unlucky in games or results not going their way in games. Things just haven't clicked as quickly as he would have liked.
Tonight's injury report is brought to you by the Solfagari Law Firm. As far as we know, North Carolina are clean as far as that's concerned, but just to kind of continue the conversation with Orange County, Brian Olowski out for the season. Among, Kisipli, not close to coming back, at least not right now. Asensio and Partita possibly close, but this has been a problem for most of the season for Orange County.
Yeah, and you're looking at Partita, Kisipli, Amang. Amang was in great form at the start of the season. Brian Olowski was filling the void that his brother left behind, being that creative midfielder and the player who could get on the ball and see forward passes and make things happen. So when you, as much as we like to talk about the depth of the roster and having a big roster, when you miss 2 or 3 key players like that, it's a completely different team. You're taking your creators out of the team, your goal scorer out of the team. You're now having to revamp how you play, because finding Brian Olowski has to be your game plan, because he's the player with the mind and the creativity to make things happen. When he's not playing, now you have to find a new guy, and players like that are not that easy to replace, especially overnight or mid-season. So they're trying to revamp themselves and find a new way to win games, and unfortunately that brings a level of uncertainty and inconsistency that they're experiencing right now.
Just to back up your point, Thomas Among, 5 goals when he left, leading goal scorer. He's still Orange County's leading goal scorer. He's been out for quite some time.
Yeah, and over the years, he wasn't always the go-to guy. They had a number of top strikers this season. He reinvented himself. I think he got himself a little bit fitter, trimmed down a little bit more tenacious in his approach to the game, and he's had a decent start to the season. But now, obviously, that injury is a big loss for Orange County.
Keys to the game tonight are brought to you by Patterson Auto. Paul Hardiman talked to us about how Orange County's been able to create chances, but they've been inconsistent in the final third as far as taking them.
Yeah, and Kyle Scott, he's a player who has that capability. The engine room in the middle of the field for Orange County, and you know, as well as he plays, he needs players who he can feed, who can score goals, and the players that they're missing makes it very tough for him. Even on a good day, you still need that player. We spoke about Markinic, 20 goals this season. Amang has 5 and remains as a top goal scorer, so you can see the disparity that some of the teams are facing right now.
Interesting part there too, saw up top there for North Carolina. To start off strong, they've had so many difficult road games this season, and they've only gotten the 1 win. It was at Miami, it was a convincing win, but Miami again is not anywhere near the playoff picture right now, to say the least. So they haven't really picked up a win that's really been a head-turning one on the road. This would be if they could get it, but certainly getting some early momentum could help the cause.
Yeah, I think, you know, Miami FC away win. We don't want to go too deep into Miami FC season right now, but yeah, winning away from home has been challenging for North Carolina so far this season. And as we spoke about briefly, coming to Orange County, irrespective of the injuries that they have and some of the changes that they're facing, it's not an easy task whatsoever with the time change.
Well, there was a push in the back there. Lamar Batista colliding with Chris Hagart. The fans certainly thought there might have been a case for a penalty. The referee disagrees. Luis Perez tries to get North Carolina out of trouble, and finally it's going to be cleared upfield.
North Carolina performed well last week against Rhode Island. The only difference was Rhode Island had some depth on the bench, and the 3 substitutions that they made were able to come into and completely change the game. And North Carolina didn't essentially have that same level of depth on their bench, and I think that was the determining factor that cost them the game at the end of the day.
Bryce Jamison trying to go to work on the near side. It's beautifully dealt with by Ezra Armstrong. who glides ahead. Colin Martin picks the ball up. He's always key for North Carolina. When they win, he tends to play well in the middle of the park.
Good work there from Armstrong, and he's up against Jameson, who we highlighted as one of Orange County's attacking threats in this game. Definitely going to be a good matchup over the course of the 90 minutes.
4 goals for Bryce Jameson this season, although Paul Hardiman did tell us that likes of Jameson and others going to need a little bit more than what they've put together. Again, that consistency in front of goal really was the overarching concern that has to change for Orange County. And they lost 3-0 to Birmingham last time out, and it was a bit misleading because it was 1-0 for so long in the game, and Orange County kept pushing and pushing for an equalizer. They never took the chance. Again, that inconsistency reared its ugly head, and Birmingham hit them for 2 late goals in a 3-0 defeat. They're trying to avoid that tonight.
Yeah, and it's quality that makes the difference. You can even look a little sooner to Loudoun's game tonight against Miami FC until El Medcar comes into the field, who has the quality and the composure in front of goal to finish the chances they had. It was shot after shot, possession after possession, without really testing the goalkeeper. So really, you do have to have quality on the pitch to make the difference. Otherwise, the possession and the opportunities that you have will end up being wasted. Quality will really be the defining factor when it comes to at the end of the day.
That goes back to what you said earlier. So much of Orange County's quality is on the shelf right now. We'll have to find it from other places. As Lamb settles this down, Hagart will recycle the play. Right back to Marcus Nakim. Hagart thought about turning, but Colin Martin was on his hip. Forces it all the way back. Jordan Chavez, who's also a player that was brought in to try to fill some of the gaps in the defense. He's had to stick around because he's been so important in games for Orange County from a defensive standpoint as McGuire clears. Chavez was originally signed on a short-term deal as he could bounce in behind for Orange County, and again, decision-making in the final third, not quite there.
Malou timed that header all wrong. Aggressively went to attack it, and the ball just bounces over his head.
Nakim. It's good pressure from Olex Anderson. Bryce Jameson, again battling for it, but Colin Martin swoops in and regains possession for North Carolina. Ball is sent to this near side. The hosts have it covered. They'll try to ping one ahead. It's a good bounce in behind, but McGuire calmly sends it forward.
Both teams right now are looking to attack by playing longer diagonal balls over the top of the defense. Neither really getting a lot of success right now, but what's happening because of it is the defensive line's dropping a little bit deeper.
Nice reverse ball here for Ezra Armstrong to chase. Lamb covers him for now, but Armstrong's gonna cut inside. Great ball across. Oh, it was bending wide of the target off the boot of Anderson, but Orange County clears it regardless. And Carolina will get a corner after some good build-up play.
Yeah, some good build-up play. And again, it's Armstrong. We've mentioned him a lot in his 1v1 battles up against Jameson here, but he does excellent in the attack. He's on his left foot and he just jinxed his left and goes to his right. I actually thought he was going to try and pull the trigger here with his right foot. He lays it off for Anderson. Anderson's effort looked like it was actually going wide of the target anyway. Orange County end up deflecting it out for a corner kick.
A good opportunity here potentially for North Carolina FC. Can they conjure up?
Maldonado with the in-swinging corner.
He scored in the last game. Oh, it's a header down! Oh, not far away at all. Ends up being almost a free header. North Carolina come within inches, maybe a foot tops from scoring.
Exactly that. It does hit the side netting, but unfortunately on the wrong side of the upright. Inches away from giving North Carolina the go-ahead goal, but brilliant delivery. Batista is the one who gets up like a salmon
And now Bryce Jamison's played in behind here. He can go all the way, and he finds the side netting. Some fans at the Champ thought it had gone in. And Jamison maybe had more time than he realized, and he misses the chance.
He did have a lot more time than he realized, and you expected him to do a lot better here. He's probably 5 yards ahead of Armstrong, who was obviously just making bursting runs forward, and he opts to try and beat the goalkeeper at the near post, Maguire, and probably should have opted to go low and across the goalkeeper there, give himself a better chance of scoring. But Armstrong has been involved in everything so far in this game, whether it's going forward, creating opportunities, and doing his defensive work. You saw him there. He was the only player that was getting back and chasing to put pressure on Jamison. Going to be interesting to see if he can maintain this level of intensity throughout the whole duration of 90 minutes.
Maldonado scored in the 30th minute against Rhode Island. It was a really nice goal. As you said, Chris, it slipped away from North Carolina in the second half. Jamison stopping Armstrong there. Carolina gets the throw.
Armstrong having had spells of Kansas City 2, Pittsburgh, St. Louis City 2 in the MLS Next Pro. Very comfortable in possession of the ball, confident.
Anderson, good ball across, did really well. Ends up getting cleared out for another corner.
A lot of North Carolina's success in this opening 50 minutes has come on this hand side of the field. It's now Anderson finding themselves out in wide areas, but it's been a lot of connection between Anderson and Armstrong in these opening 50 minutes.
Alex Anderson recently had a strong campaign for his home country, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, in CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. Scored a few goals. It's obviously a paramount piece to what North Carolina want to do at the end of the season, which is get to the postseason and see what can happen from there. Maldonado's ball in, almost at the same spot, but this time Gomez gets a paw on it. Carolina will get another corner.
Looking for Batista in that same area at the back post. Gomez reads it well and punches it away.
Looks like Perez to take the second corner. Again, it's an opportunity, but again, Gomez reads it well.
Strong goalkeeping there from Gomez. The first one he punches away, the second one he catches and keeps his team in possession. I always prefer the second option. More security, you're able to keep possession of the ball, now your team's able to build up, rather than a punch away where the ball could end up landing to anybody.
Pressure from Perez and company, along with Anderson. Orange County play their way through, at least for the moment. It's going to deflect back to Anderson. Carolina have the numbers. Anderson's shot. He's sent soaring out of the Champ.
Anderson does ever so well here to create the space for him to get a shot off. It's a giveaway from Higger, I think, in the center of the park. Drives at the center back. He's up against Chavez and just creates a little bit of space, just unable to get his head over the ball and drive it home. But you can see the danger that Anderson presents there. Once he's turning and he's running at you, he's very dangerous and threatening.
Another near giveaway there. It actually is given away in the end. North Carolina can try to build again. Perez, good skill. Punishment of possession here. Justin Malou. Perez again. On the far side, great chance for a cross there. Maldonado wants it in the middle. North Carolina resets. Paco Craig. For Lamar Batista.
Paco Craig brings a lot of experience and stability to this North Carolina backline. Significant spells with Miami FC and Louisville.
Good run here. Would really ricochet into the path of either Anderson or Martin. Brewer Jr. tried to make up the space, and now Ethan Zubak gets onto this for Orange County. Zubak does well. Plays a wonderful ball, but it's a critical touch. I think Malou gets a boot onto that and saves North Carolina.
Nice idea there from Zubak. Just a little bit short with the pass, but you can see when Orange County had possession of the ball and they win it back deep in their own half, very quick to spring the counter-attack for the likes of Jamison or Zubak, making runs into space behind.
Perez tries again. Maldonado. Perez down the far sideline here. Martin on the turn, heavy touch, gives it away.
While North Carolina are doing a good job of getting the ball wide, they got to do a little bit better job of getting runners in behind at the moment. They're getting higher up the field and the passes are having to come sideways and backwards. Orange County are getting bodies back behind the ball, but they're not getting up and getting pressure on the ball, which is allowing North Carolina to have time to make those forward runs and make those forward passes.
Malou. Brewer. How about going down the line again? Paco Craig. Armstrong's forced out. Orange County SC's 5th annual Corporate Cup is coming fast. 7-on-7 soccer tournament. It's going to be a fun night out for the whole company. Tournament begins Friday, September 27th. The final taking place at the Champ on the following Wednesday, October 9th. OCSC takes on Colorado Springs on that Wednesday as well. It's a heavy challenge coming in. Yellow card for Batista, as we tell you to head to orangecountysoccer.com/corporate-cup to sign up your office today.
I actually thought the first challenge here was a little bit more of a foul than the second one. If you look at the way Maldonado, I think, if you look how he lands here, bangs his head very strongly on the grass, and then obviously Batista comes in on the second one. I think the free kick could have gone either way based on the first tackle or the second.
Well, Batista in the end is deemed to be the guilty party. Well, Luis Perez is pleading the case for North Carolina.
Lamb for Orange County is normally a fullback who likes to get forward a lot. He's normally joining the attack on the lot from this right-hand side. However, in these opening 20 minutes, because of Armstrong's positioning, Batista, Craig and Malou stretch the field as a back three, and Armstrong goes fairly high and wide on the left-hand side, which means that he's pinning Lamb back, preventing Lamb from joining the attack as much as he does normally.
Played ahead by Scott. That's a second try at it. Pressured by Conway and Martin. Nakim. For Lamb, who does get on the end of it. Good touch. Reverse ball into the penalty area is well placed. And the ball across finds nobody in orange.
On cue, we were just talking about Armstrong pinning Lamb back, but it's a great long ball here from Scott to find Lamb in behind. Plays a lovely pass in behind, but just nobody on the end of the cross.
Feels like all of Orange County's opportunities have been on balls over the top.
Yeah, they have the speed, they have the strength, and when players do make runs forward, the space is there to be exploited. And if you can be a little bit direct, not necessarily just playing long balls, but direct and playing into space or exploiting space that's been left open, of course there's opportunity there to be taken. With Lamb bombing forward and Armstrong bombing forward, obviously there's an opportunity there to exploit the space that they leave open on the counter-attack.
Talked about North Carolina getting off to a fast start. They've gotten off to a good start, I would say.
Yeah, and similar to last week, Conway was quiet, and then The second we thought that he was having a quiet game, he pops up with the assist from Maldonado's goal. So we know that goal scorers, sometimes when they're not having touches of the ball, can be when they're most dangerous, because defenders switch off, they don't pay them as much attention, and out of nowhere they go and find themselves in a dangerous position and get the go-ahead goal.
Maldonado's ball in is taken care of. Haggard marauding around. Jamison loses out to Perez. Martin, 3-4 around him. Plays it back for Perez and then Armstrong. Maldonado. Malou out wide for Brewer. Brewer cuts it outside. Back into the middle, and it's a cushioned header, only as far as Maldonado. Batista in front of Armstrong. Perez bends the ball in, and again, Orange County clear it, but not definitively. Armstrong follows up. Gonna maybe maneuver his way into the penalty area.
Such a low center of gravity, able to keep possession and turn in tight spaces. North Carolina's defense a good 10-15 yards into the attacking half. Normally we see defensive lines that center backs like to hang around the halfway line, but North Carolina being very expansive and open in the way they attack, bringing the defense higher up the field.
It's going to ricochet in behind. Offside flag goes up with Anderson trying to get in front of Nick Kim.
Of course, we've seen it. If North Carolina do push the three centre-backs, Malou, Craig and Batista, a little higher, there's opportunity for Zubac to hang in and around that halfway line, and if Orange County are able to win possession of the ball, they're able to play him in quickly in behind without him being offside, because as long as he's in his own half when they do play that ball, he's not going to be offside. So North Carolina's backline do have to pay a little bit of attention when they're attacking to Zubac's positioning and make sure they're not leaving in a situation where he could be one-on-one through on goal.
Craig's header forces Brewer back. McGuire is able to send it forward. Good header won by Chavez. Hagar gives it away again. Conway leads the charge. It's a one on everybody. Conway keeps on going, and he nearly, against the odds, found the target.
He nearly did it again. Remember, we say Conway's quiet, and then all of a sudden pops out of nowhere. Brilliant, showing the level of ability he has here. Just picks it up in his left foot, drives. Look how easy he cruises past these two players. Past one. Lamb can't organise his feet quick enough. Gets his strike off. Maybe, if this is low and hard across the keeper, it's in the back of net, but this touch just gets away from him a little bit, and Lamb actually does well to get the block and deflect it away for a corner kick.
Nearly an extraordinary solo effort there. Does lead to a corner after great work from Conway. Maldonado's ball in is headed in. North Carolina's promising start yields the opening goal on the road yet again. It's headed home by Justin Malou to give John Bradford's side the lead.
And they've been threatening and dangerous from set pieces. Brilliant delivery again here from Maldonado. All three corner kicks he's taken so far have been good. The first one, Batista missed by inches. On this one, Malou makes no mistake, just uses the pace on the ball, glides it, glances it on frame and into the back of the net. And we spoke about North Carolina not winning, or only winning one game away from home so far this season, and they're in the lead right now, 27 minutes away from home in Orange County.
It's Justin Malou's first goal of the season. Not a bad time to get it. Just like they did at Rhode Island, almost at the same time as well, just a couple minutes off. North Carolina has a lead. As we found out last time, it's what they do from here that'll make the difference. Orange County, who, despite their ups and downs this season, have been solid at the champ this season. We'll see if they'll be able to recover. You look at that conceding first stat, that would tell you that maybe things could go south for Orange County, but at home, they've won 5 of 9 5 wins, 1 draw, just 3 defeats at home, but when they fall behind, they tend to stay behind.
Yeah, I always find when you're the home team, brilliant play again here from Scott. Great first-time ball around the corner.
Plays in Bryce Jamison. Orange County looking for an immediate reply. First time ball across from Hagart is cut out.
I always find when you're the home team and you go behind, the pressure normally builds on you a little bit more, because now the pressure builds up from your home fans. When you're away from home, you don't have any home fans, but when you're at home, the expectancy is a little bit more. So once you're home fans, the energy starts to turn a little bit in your own stadium. It adds a little bit to the pressure that you're feeling. Given the run of form that Orange County are currently in, it's difficult for the fans to persistently stay optimistic. Obviously, getting that go-down goal now against North Carolina, it takes a little bit of steam, a little bit of energy, a little bit of wind out of the fans and the players. And now Orange County have a little bit of a mountain to climb. It's a test of character and resilience of the team. They have to find a way to dig deep now and get themselves back into this game. But as you showed, the stat when they've conceded the first goal has not been good.
From the throw, goes right back to Ryan Flood, who sends it into the middle, looking for Zuback. It's volleyed! And who was it last off of? It looks like it's going to stay here for an Orange County corner kick.
Just a good connection on the ball, but looked like it was always rising and going high over the crossbar. Chavez with the half volley.
It's a city side fiber corner. Flood to take it. Orange County looking to equalize here. Flood's ball in is dangerous. McGuire palms it away only as far as Kyle Scott.
It's a good delivery there from Flood, but it's also very good goalkeeping there from McGuire. Gets a strong fist on it and punches it away from danger.
Lamb. Nice feed from Flood to Jamison. Jamison's ball across was also dangerous. Touched away. Perez for Armstrong. Tight quarters here. Orange County can retain it for the moment. The battle continues. And it looks like it will go North Carolina's way. Hagart on Martin.
Good defending there from Martin. Goes out, closes down the ball well, and then just uses his body to try and shield it out of play, but ends up winning a free kick and getting possession for his team.
A couple pushes in the back there from Hagart. Referee was right to give the free kick. Both of Rhode Island's goals in the turnaround that saw North Carolina lose last time. Both came late in the game, 74th and 85th minute. So long way to go. But if North Carolina could add on to the lead, of course, as you mentioned, Chris, they could heap even more pressure on an Orange County team that, of course, is also desperate for the points tonight.
And desperate is the right word for the points. If you're looking at the tables, if Monterey win, or if Monterey had won, they would jump above Orange County. If Phoenix had won, they could jump above Orange County. If Tulsa had won, they jump above Orange County. So there's 3 teams sitting below Orange County right now, 8th, 9th, and 10th, who could jump above Orange County if Orange County don't get a win tonight.
That has just been life in the Western Conference of the USL Championship this season. Tulsa are winning right now at San Antonio. They were trailing earlier. They lead 2-1. Monterey Bay leading the Rowdies at home in Seaside by a 0-0. Orange County fans won't want to hear that. And Phoenix trailing at Widener Field against the Switchbacks. They're about to enter the 74th minute. Colorado Springs has a 1-0 advantage.
Yeah, I think on the Western Conference, Phoenix and San Antonio really having a surprisingly poor season so far this year. 2 teams that we're accustomed to discussing and competing for the regular season champions. We're both contemplating whether they're even going to make the postseason this season.
does kind of feel like if San Antonio, as this ball's played in, Gomez is there. If San Antonio doesn't come back and get a result tonight, you start to wonder, where are they going to get points the rest of the way? I don't think anybody thought that was going to be the discussion on August 3rd in this USL Championship season. Like you said, on top of that, the defending champs, will they have a chance to defend their title in the playoffs? That is a big question in the West as well. As North Carolina play through here, Conway for Anderson, lovely back heel, Conway's in, brilliant save by Gomez. Perez lays it off for Maldonado. Armstrong continues the North Carolina attack. Batista, brilliant ball. Perez blocked. And then it ricochets out for a goal kick after some marvelous last-ditch defending from Orange County.
Great through the ball there from Batista, but seeing a little bit of that danger in the attack for North Carolina. Brilliant connection here between Conway and Anderson. Perez here, shot blocked, but we see the danger that Conway has. When he picks up the ball and he starts driving at speed, he's so dangerous. He glides past players like they're not even there.
Just over 10 minutes plus stoppage time left in the half, with Orange County searching for a leveler. Orange County SC's Foundation, first annual golf tournament on the tee with OCSC is taking place Wednesday, September 11th. Strawberry Farms Golf Club in Irvine. Sign your foursome up today for a chance to play with a player on our website.
Orange County have to do a better job of getting tighter to Conway. If you allow him to turn and face forward, he's a big problem to deal with. He's very difficult to stop once he gets going with the ball at speed. What they need to do is stay tighter to him when he's receiving the ball so he doesn't get the opportunity to turn and go forward, or make sure you're tracking his runs. If you allow him time and space, you can see he has the potential to hurt you. Glimpses of Pekka there on the sideline, who's a former North Carolina FC player for many years. He's been working with the academy, and gradually John Bradford has included him in the first team, and the experience, the character, always a very, very positive energy. John Bradford speaks about what he's adding to the environment, how it's a breath of fresh air having him involved, being the connector between the young players coming through from the academy into the first team, which is something that North Carolina FC have always been very strong about, is having that connection between young players in the community, in and around the academy, and their progression through to the first team level.
Anderson committed the foul there to end the attacking sequence for John Bradford's group.
The chances that North Carolina have had, they really should have put themselves a couple goals ahead, similar to last week against Rhode Island. As the game progressed, the tighter the game stays, there's always going to be an opportunity for the opponents to get back into the game, and they probably should be a couple goals in the lead right now, but not being clinical or not converting those chances they have always allows Orange County to stay in this game, especially as things go on into the second half.
Great ball from Martin to Conway, revving up the engines again. Armstrong trying to cross into the middle. Lamb is there. Carolina have another corner.
It's been a good battle between Armstrong and Lamb.
This was the near side corner where North Carolina scored earlier, 10 minutes ago.
Armstrong is bringing out the best of Lamb's defending. He's a very tricky player. If you're overzealous and you dive in, he's going to glide past you. So Lamb's having to be very patient, make sure he's intercepting and timing his tackles well. Fourth corner kick from Maldonado, and his previous three have all been exceptional deliveries into the box.
He's got one assist already. From this corner, Gomez just gets it out of danger, but does give away another corner kick.
Yeah, and the delivery's consistent. You can see the two deliveries that you would say maybe is overhit, questionable, but all the goalkeeper's been able to do is punch them out for another corner kick on the other side. So his deliveries are of the level where it's sustaining pressure in the attacking third.
This ball's played back in. Good touch! Oh, it's flashed wide of the target, but it's a moot point. Paco Craig was offside.
Yeah, I think Paco Craig's got a nosebleed from being that high up. First touch, look, I think he's smiling because he knows that's not his regular first touch. He knows that's not what he does on a regular basis. However, the second touch was more of a centre-back's touch. First touch was beautiful. Centre-forward's first touch, but the half volley on the left foot, if it goes in the back of the net, it's the best goal he scores in his career. It went wide of the upright, and the referee called offside anyway. But
fine margins.
I'm sure he'll be clipping that first touch. It was Armstrong with a great ball over the top there, had the vision and ability to find him.
But another missed opportunity for Carolina trying to build their lead.
But runs from deep. Paco Craig making that run from very deep there and nobody tracking him. Tons of space. Just a little too early. But opportunity again there for North Carolina.
Good battle here, Craig and Zubak. Flood. Flood was claiming that he was fouled. Referee didn't think so. North Carolina maybe with a chance in transition here. Conway up ahead, and all the stings taken out of the pass.
Yeah, just able to get enough connection on the ball to slow down the counter-attack. Win back possession of the ball, but good competition there between those two players. Referee allowing play to continue, which he has done for the most part of the game. He hasn't blown his whistle too often, which has allowed the game to flow fairly freely.
Decent early ball for Zubak. It never got to him.
Zubak, a couple of dangerous balls in the box. You just feel like Zubak's lacking a little bit of form, a little bit of rhythm, because the ball's in dangerous areas there, and you feel like when he's confident on his best moments, he's in that right place at the right time, attacking it and at least testing the goalkeeper, but just a couple yards off some of those deliveries that have come his way inside the box.
Scott. Caught in two minds there, never got the ball away. Pressured back by Martin.
Sometimes when you're confident, you're on your front foot, and sometimes those moments that people will say will be lucky, it's just a case of being confident and anticipating and reacting quicker than everybody else. And there's been a couple of opportunities where I feel like if Zubak was in a moment of good form, he's on his front foot, he's reacting quicker than everybody else, and he's getting to those balls first and finishing them off. Sometimes when you're just out of rhythm or lacking that form or that confidence, just doubt yourself a little bit, and opportunities that you may even get a shot off, you're not even getting close to.
Armstrong wins the header off Jamison. Good follow-up by Lamb to keep it going. Nearly lost his footing. Jamison across. It's chested down. Jamison looks to follow up. North Carolina are going to be able to deal with it in the end.
Good positioning there from Powers. We spoke about Lamb and how he likes to get forward, and you can see him there bombing forward, and that's the Lamb we're accustomed to seeing. And knowing that he's forward, Powers does a good job of just shifting across and filling that hole.
Lovely touch here from Anderson. Anderson on his left. It's caught by Gomez. Again, great start to the sequence for Anderson, but couldn't finish.
And you know when defenders start to worry, you could see Nakeem there. Once he starts backpedaling, that's when strikers know that you're about to get the better defender, and he does there, but he's so tight to the touchline that the angle where he gets his shot off from is very difficult to score from, and Gomez is able to collect that one fairly safely. But it's really the spacing behind that's dangerous for both teams. If you allow Jamison or Zubak to make runs in behind into space, they are both threatening. And if you allow Conway or Anderson to get in behind, making runs into space, they're equally as threatening. So you really have to condense the spaces and stay tight and compact and drop your defensive line maybe a little bit deeper where that spacing behind doesn't exist as much. If either of these teams play a higher line, I feel like that's where both of these strikers, on either team, the strikers really thrive and get more opportunities and more space.
10-ticket flex packs are the best way to attend multiple matches or use all 10 tickets on your friends and family out to a match at the Champ. Head to orangecountysoccer.com/flex-packs for more information. Final stages of the first half.
Good patient build-up play there from North Carolina.
Perez.
Connecting through the back line and then a nice clipped ball into midfield into Maldonado.
Brewer. In and out moves, plays it across, takes a deflection. More North Carolina pressure leads to yet another corner.
And what's good about the build-up from North Carolina, it's not 10 and 15 passes in the defensive third and they're not able to advance. As you can see, they're connecting through the back line and then they're able to get into the attacking third and win corners and then sustain pressure higher up. Sometimes we see teams building out from the back at 10, 15 passes and they still haven't gone anywhere from their defensive third. There's actually a purpose to the way North Carolina are building out from the back and they're making things happen.
This feels like an important sequence for North Carolina, trying to add on to a slim lead. Again, there was an opportunity in the middle, Batista clogging things up, but nobody really got good contact, I should say, on the header, and then it's a foul that Hagart wins.
Teasing corner kick into the box there from Perez, I think, and that's actually a smart foul from Maldonado. Orange County have possession of the ball, and he stops the play by making that free kick, and now North Carolina able to get all 11 players back behind the ball. But there was a fairly strong clash from that corner kick.
1 minute of stoppage time is presented by the Solfagari Law Firm. As there is a player down for North Carolina being examined. So we might play more than the 1 minute. We'll get a chance to take another look at how this sequence played out.
Teasing delivery into the box, just hangs there, and I think it's Malou who gets crushed in there, in between his own teammate, in between Batista. Malou obviously got that go-ahead goal for Carolina from the delivery from Maldonado earlier in the game.
He's had an eventful first half, to say the least. Hopefully he's okay. Justin Malou. He is going to try and get back on the pitch. There's enough time in the first half. Kim is forced back. Malou is on. That was awkward for Gomez. He gets it out of harm's way.
Yeah, you could see the energy from Anderson as he goes to press, giving these defenders not a second's rest.
Here, Paul Hardiman trying to inject some energy into the Orange County players here at the end of the half.
And it's been a good half from North Carolina. We spoke about their form away from home, but it's been good to watch play. They build up, they have a little bit of dynamic in the attack. The wingers have the ability to take players on. It's been a solid first half from North Carolina. And as you mentioned, in a difficult place to go and play and pick up points.
Orange County are in control of the ball as the first half ends. Justin Malou's first goal of the season gives North Carolina a lead to hold on to, but there's a big 45 minutes to play out to see if it stands up.
Yeah, still 45 minutes to go, but I think a strong opening 45 minutes for North Carolina, for Orange County. Being the home team, as we mentioned, down a goal, the pressure's really on them to control, dictate the tempo of the play, to be the more aggressive team. So it's going to be interesting to see what tweaks they make at halftime to get a better foothold in this game.
A lot for us to talk about at halftime, no question about that. We'll look around the league. We'll also be able to look at the upcoming schedule for Orange County as they try to push to the postseason. But at the moment, North Carolina have the lead in Irvine thanks to Justin Malou. Halftime in Cali, plenty to come after the break.
And as founder of Omega, I understand that as a business owner, you've got a lot in your mind. Let the tax credit ninjas at Omega get you the money. It's rightfully yours. It's not too late to score big on tax credits, but you gotta act fast.
At the half, it is North Carolina who has the lead here in Irvine over Orange County. First goal of the season for Justin Malou has the visitors ahead. We'll see how the second half plays out in just a moment. But first, Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse here with you. We'll take a look at Orange County's upcoming schedule. And of course, it's the USL Championship, which means it's not easy.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier. And Charleston Battery on a great run of form right now. Spoke about their result against Indy 11 last night. Some very, very enticing fixtures coming up there.
Las Vegas also seems to be one to circle as Dennis Sanchez's side are unbeaten in their last 10 before Orange County gets a little bit of a break. And then, of course, Rhode Island is as hot as anybody in the East right now as well. So tough to navigate with Orange County right now. We'll see if they handle it. It's always tough to see who has the best goal each week, who has the best save each week. Well, we'll show them for you right now, and you get a chance to decide.
Worth takes it. Oh, and it's in! 17-year-old Nate Worth with a moment of brilliance as he scores for the first time in his pro career.
On one. Here's Hurst walking in again. Hurst, Jamali Waite, the bounce, Waite again. Double save, this one on Nana Hosul.
The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I don't care. I paint the town red.
If you can survive this, it's going to make the whole story that much better.
The bright horses have broken free from the fields.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes. Only want the best. Maybe grinding every night. Won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky. Got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning
doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Sean and Chris back here with you at the half in Irvine. North Carolina through Justin Malou have the lead. Get to the second half at the Champ in just a few moments. But first we get a chance to look around the USL Championship as we're getting ready for the stretch run towards the postseason. But it's not just been a great year for the USL Championship. It's been a great year for USL League One as well. Tormenta Zone Nick Akoto transferred to Burton Albion. Across the pond, great news there. Oklahoma City Energy as well. They're getting closer to the completion of a soccer-specific stadium. It's going to be great to have them back. And, of course, multiple players making an impact at the Summer Olympics as well, Chris.
Yeah, Edison Askonov representing USL at the Olympics. And, of course, we're starting to see the trend of young players getting an opportunity and a platform to develop in the USL Championship and then being traded to Europe. I think Nick Akoto is one of many, and there's going to be many, many more coming up shortly.
It's wonderful to see on so many different fronts how much USL continues to grow. Weekend scores, of course, the big one earlier today on CBS, a late Rhode Island goal. They snatch a point off of Detroit. And, of course, Hartford came back. They got a point off of Birmingham Legion.
Yeah, Loudon beat Miami FC 4-1. Miami FC finishing the game, or playing almost half the game with just 9 players. Another interesting result is Louisville City beating New Mexico 1-0. Louisville City on a very hot streak of form right now.
That could be back-to-back home defeats for New Mexico after they hadn't lost at home all season. That could be a bad result for San Antonio. Tulsa leads by 2 late. Pittsburgh trying to shock some people in the Californian capital.
And Monterey Bay parted ways with their head coach earlier this week. 1-0 up against Tampa Bay Rowdies at halftime. Lots of crazy things happening in the USL Championship this weekend.
Somehow we're paid to make it make sense. I don't know how we're going to do that in the next few months.
Expect the unexpected.
Should be the league motto. No questions about that. Again, Detroit and Pittsburgh on Wednesday. That's going to be on CBS Sports Network. Big one for Rhode Island. They go to play Indy before Tulsa get this Orange County side.
Yeah, Rhode Island, as you mentioned, on a hot streak of form, slowly solidifying their place in the playoffs, creating a little bit of gap, as we spoke about, between themselves and North Carolina, who need to pick up 3 points tonight to stay close to that race.
That's going to be one that Rhode Island can't overlook. I know they play Hartford the following weekend. Everyone's looking forward to that game because of the rivalry, but they have to conquer the mic first before they get to that. We will step aside for now. We'll get first half highlights and stats to you after this, and then the second half kick between Orange County and North Carolina. Back here in Irvine, California, moments away from the start of what could be a very important second half between Orange County and North Carolina. Justin Malou off the mark with his first goal of the season. We'll see how the second half plays out. But first, let's recap the first half with some first half highlights. And Chris, there was a ton of set-piece opportunities from North Carolina.
Yeah, and the majority came in favor of North Carolina. As you mentioned, this first one is Batista at the back post. Great delivery from Maldonado. Hits the side netting, but unfortunately on the wrong side of the upright.
Not long after that, battle in the midfield, but Orange County stretched their legs out a bit here.
Great ball in behind here. And it's Jameson who gets onto it first, but just lacking a little bit of quality here. Opts to go for the near post, and I don't think he beats Maguire from that angle. I think he needs to a little bit more composure, a little calmness, get a cleaner strike across the goalkeeper, and I think he has a better chance of scoring in that situation.
Yeah, Orange County had opportunities in this half, but they didn't take advantage of them. Evan Conway almost took advantage of this giveaway.
Yeah, the last player you want to see running at you in space is Conway, but Lamb does a good job here to recover. He gets beat, but quick feet, quick acceleration, gets back and gets a block off. Stops Conway from getting his shot on target here.
Right. And another corner here pays dividends.
Great delivery from Maldonado. Perfect ball to be delivered. Malou, perfect timing, gets up first, uses the pace on the ball just to glance it towards goal. And as you can see, Gomez had no chance of saving that.
And then towards the end of the half, more North Carolina opportunities.
Great ball from Anderson here. What a touch on the outside of his foot. Gets under control, and once he's running at you and you're backpedaling, you're in trouble, but the angle just gets a little bit too tight for him. Good defender from the King. Snuffs out any danger, and Gomez is able to collect this one fairly easily.
It was almost as good as Devin Rensing's touch last night for the Charleston Battery. Almost. In the end, that's where we stand. 1-0 to North Carolina as we look at the halftime match stats. And I don't know if a lot of people would have seen this coming, even in possession, but the vast majority of the big chances have come for the team from the East.
Yeah, I would say evenly. Possession has been fairly even, but North Carolina have done a better job with the possession that they have, of being more attacking minded, playing forward, creating goal scoring opportunities. They just haven't been as clinical as they would have liked to have been. The free shots that they've had on target have been good opportunities. I think if they convert these, they're in control of the game, but with just a 1-goal margin, I think it's very tight, and they have to be careful in this second half. Whoever gets the next goal is going to be very important.
It did look like that Orange County was getting set to make one, possibly two substitutions. Looks like they were getting Ashish Chatta ready and Cameron Dunbar as well. Looks like those two are both on at the start of the second half. Second half is presented by Patterson Autos. Better car buying experience, friendly team sales, transparent pricing, and a commitment to the Orange County community. And once again, the Noah Bernadou Foundation wants to remind fans to never drive drunk and get home safely. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, our entire crew. 2 alterations for the county. We'll see if that can help them change things around after North Carolina were mightily impressive in the first half. And of course, those 2 changes are brought to you by MediQuip. One goal and 2 assists this season for Cameron Dunbar. And Ashish Chatta's been a player that can play multiple positions for Orange County. He'll try to help things out in the middle of the park. In for Dylan Powers, who leaves us.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that any of those players necessarily did anything wrong or were having poor performances, but I do agree that Orange County need to try something different. They haven't essentially been entertaining. They're definitely not winning, and they're not causing North Carolina that many problems. So I definitely think that something had to change at halftime. I actually thought Powers was doing a good job of filling holes when Armstrong was going forward and he's leaving pockets of space. Powers was just filling into those holes, and so they weren't able to be exploited. But I definitely think North Carolina needed to try something different in this second half to get themselves back into the game and take control of possession.
We just saw that stat a moment ago. More times than not, North Carolina gets a positive result when they lead at the half in the USL Championship this season. Orange County trails. Again, they don't tend to pick up the points, but we'll see. It's going to be a disjointed play there. Scott not on the same page with the entering Dunbar.
Yeah, and I think it's the right decision from Scott. Players have got to make runs in behind. Dunbar's looking for the ball to feet, but you're not going to score. He's got to try and exploit those spaces in between the centre-backs, in between the full-back and the centre-back, and it's the right ball. He just needs to be on the same wavelength for the same page as Dunbar Scott so that he's making the run. Unfortunately, Dunbar wasn't making the run.
Chata, again, not quite able to link up.
Yeah, it's just the quality on that final pass forward. They're looking forward, they're just lacking the quality on the execution of the pass. And this is what we spoke about that really makes a difference. It's not bad players. It's not for a lack of energy or intensity or formation or tactics. It's just that you do need those players who have the quality to deliver those passes and to convert those chances. It's the quality of the players in the final third that really make a big difference.
Well, Ezra Armstrong was convinced that should have been a North Carolina throw. Not the case. Orange County will get a replenishment of possession. Ball is pinned out to the far side, and Bryce Jamison was trying to shake off the challenge, and he's penalized for doing so in the end.
It's Jamison tussling with Batista there. Long diagonal pass. Probably right, Jamison's having a little tug on Batista's shirt as he makes the run in behind there.
Omar Batista is the only player on the pitch right now with a yellow card. Third early, second chance opportunity that just fizzles out there for Orange County. It just seems like they're grasping to try to find some momentum right now in the attack. Nakim, just about able to poke that ahead, but to nobody in particular. That's a giveaway. Chance for Orange County in transition. Dunbar's played in behind. Dunbar into the middle! Oh, it was a high boot. Referee let that go. There wasn't enough contact to test McGuire. And Paul Hardiman wants it right back into play.
Yeah, huge let off there for North Carolina. The ball falls in the center of the park to Scott, who's probably one of the last players that you want to have the ball in that type of situation. And he actually just overhits that pass a little bit. Had it been a little bit more central in towards goal, it would have been a little bit more threatening, but goes into the wide areas, and Dunbar does get there, delivers the cross into the box, but again, no one central able to get their head on it and guide it towards goal. But big let off for North Carolina, giving away the ball in the center of the park there.
And Gomez, close call there with pressure on him. Orange County can build again.
You can see where Orange County can get themselves back into the game. It wasn't through making 600 passes. They were able to win the ball in transition and be very direct and purposeful in the pass when they did. And you see opportunities there.
This is going to roll through for Ryan Flood. Maybe could have run onto that. Dunbar continued the run. And then Flood's cross does switch the point of the attack here. It's played centrally behind Zubak. Couple of inaccurate moments there, and again, another missed opportunity for Orange County there.
Probably needed to be a little bit patient, Orange County there. North Carolina had 5 or 6 players back in the box against just 2 players for Orange County, so that's where they probably just needed to be a little bit more patient, allow them to get some support, some more numbers into the box before delivering the cross.
Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select is the player's choice. Of course, a lot of games going on tonight that impact, well, both teams involved. In this game, Phoenix losing at Widener Field to the Switchbacks of Colorado Springs by 2-0. A 0-0 draw between Memphis and El Paso. That's big points dropped from Memphis 901. Tulsa did beat San Antonio. That puts San Antonio in a very, very poor position moving forward. And Louisville did indeed win at the Lab, back-to-back home defeats for New Mexico United.
Yeah, and the game in focus here tonight for Orange County. You're not going to, essentially the situation they find themselves in, fighting for a playoff position, you're going to be judged by the results you get against the teams in and amongst you, or teams that are in a similar situation. And Orange County and North Carolina do find themselves in a similar situation. You're not really going to be judged against your games against New Mexico, against Sacramento at the top of the table. But you should be winning or challenging, especially when you're at home against the teams that are in a similar situation to you.
Armstrong! Looks like that was side netting. It took a deflection. It's going to be a corner.
And if Orange County aren't able to turn this around and pick up 3 points at home, I think it is a big message of where their season is beginning to tumble and heading towards the stretch towards the playoffs. These games are important not just for the momentum and the energy of the team, but it's an indicator of what you're able to accomplish this season. Right now, North Carolina are outside of the playoff places. If you're not able to pick up 3 points at home against the teams outside of the playoff places, how are you going to do it against the teams in the playoff places who are in better runs of form and better position and maybe have a little bit more depth and quality in their rosters? It's really indicative of what could be to come for the remaining games of the season for Orange County.
Maldonado from the corner. Could be a free header. Oh, was touched onto Anderson, who didn't react quickly enough and may have actually picked up a bit of a knock in the process as it ricocheted out of play.
Yeah, I think Orange County also need to recognize North Carolina have been very dangerous from their corner kicks and from their set pieces in this game. So defensively, you don't want to be giving away too many of these opportunities. The first two that they have in the first half, one hit the side netting, the other ended up in a goal. So knowing that's one of their strengths, you try to minimize the amount of corner kicks and dead ball situations you give away in the final third that could allow them to get opportunities on goal.
Also, just to complete the discussion on the other games going on, the one game actually that impacts Orange County the most is the fact that Monterey Bay are leading right now against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. If that holds, Orange County, who began the night in 7th, would drop to 8th, and that'd be even tighter when it comes to their current playoff status in the West.
Yeah, and everybody was concerned how would Monterey react to parting ways with their head coach in the middle of the week. Normally they're expecting a negative reaction. You know, he's new, maybe everybody's heads are down a little bit. They weren't in the best run of form. Again, another team that's on the fringes of playoffs, but so far they're leading 2-1.
Martin eventually is stopped. Referee gives North Carolina a free kick.
Scott is a very important player for this Orange County team. I imagine he's on the shopping list for a number of USL Championship teams, and I imagine he's a player who wants to compete with the best teams. He wants to compete for regular season championships. It's going to be very interesting to see if they're able to hold on to him at the end of the season. Players have very high aspirations and goals that they want to accomplish. As loyal as I think he is being to Orange County, I think there comes a point in time where he wants to chase his ambitions.
Still up for grabs in the penalty area, but Paco Craig's header sees the sequence come to an end.
And I say that because replacing the Losky brothers or some of the more talent that they've had over the years is not going to be an easy task, and it's up to the organization to continue to feed in those higher level players, those high quality players, to keep the ones that you have. Otherwise, you end up losing more than just the odd game in here and there. You end up losing the better talent that you have on your roster. So it's hard when players leave, but you have to find a way to refill. Otherwise, the other better players that you have, the likes of Scott, they end up getting a little bit frustrated over time also. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there over time.
Of course, Orange County have multiple club partnerships as well with Rangers in Scotland, Feyenoord in the Netherlands, and when good teams see that you have good players, they want to take them off you.
Of course, and I think it's happened a number of players from Orange County. You know, they get a good player, he's gone to Europe, and that good player gone to Europe, and Of course, that will frustrate some of the players that stay with Orange County for a long period of time. Of course, it's fantastic for the organisation. You are able to, number one, acknowledge good talent, provide a platform, develop it, and move it on to bigger opportunities. But there's still a core group of players that want to achieve within the organisation, who want to win championships, who want to win games, who want to collect trophies. And you have to be able to match the expectations of both in those situations.
That header's going to go out of play, but the referee says it was last off of Orange County. It's going to be another Carolina corner on the far side.
On that note of young players, Orange County did make a pretty interesting signing this week. 16-year-old from LAFC's Academy.
Yeah, Paul Hardiman was telling us about that. Pedro Guimaraes is his name. MLS Next All-Star participant, former under-15s, U.S. Youth National Team, won a title with them as well. As this corner's whipped in at pace, Gomez punches. It's going to be a free kick, and he's had an opportunity to also train with Brazilian giants, Flamengo, who 4 or 5 years ago now, I think, were in a FIFA Club World Cup final, so big pedigree there.
Yeah, and there's not many 16-year-olds who have been signed. It's not just a newspaper signing. There's not many 16-year-olds that have been signed in the USL Championship who haven't gone on to impress. You look at Nate Worth right now with Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yeah.
Fantastic player, very bright future, and they expect the same from Pedro, that in a moment of time he's going to become a player who's going to get opportunities to play, who they'll develop, give a platform to expose, and they have the vision that he's going to be a player who potentially will have opportunities in Europe in the future also. So exciting times. Everybody loves young talent coming through, being given opportunity, and not just getting opportunity, but being good enough to get the opportunity. I think he's being touted as having that level of caliber and opportunity going forward.
Well, Durant Farid is still with the U.S. under-20s right now, battling for a CONCACAF under-20 championship. They play in the final tomorrow against Mexico. So there's Orange County players wanted by plenty of clubs and national teams.
Yeah, I think it's unquestionable Orange County's ability to identify talent and recruit talent. But they've got to get back to a phase where they're challenging for regular season championships and winning the playoffs.
And Paul Hardiman's a big reason for that, by the way. His years of work developing players, scouting talent, big reason why Orange County's had that kind of success. Here's Olex Anderson for North Carolina. He had time and space. Jamison tries to hunt him down. Anderson plays in Armstrong, who will not be able to keep it in, and does his best tryout for the Olympics as he hurdles the end line.
I was about to say that the acrobatic Armstrong, if he wasn't going to be playing soccer tonight, I'm sure we would have seen him in Paris. Then he's tenacity just to jump over the barrier, turn around, sprint back. Brilliant from Armstrong.
Even the Russian judge was impressed. Beautiful ball played by Flood on a dime for Zubak. Zubak lays it off. Still a chance here for Orange County. Played out to the far side by Chata. It's bent back into the middle. It's a free header. And it's onto the roof of the net from Ethan Zubak.
That was the chance for Orange County to get the equalising goal. It's good play from Zubak. It starts with him chasing the ball in behind and keeping it alive, but this is a wide open header under absolutely no pressure. He's got to do better with that. He's got to at least force Maguire to make a save. Head it down into the corners where keepers don't like to go. Head it on target. He's got to do better with that opportunity. They haven't had many good opportunities like that in this game, and that's the best one they've had. Zubak needed to be clinical with the opportunity to get themselves back into this game, and it's gone wasted.
That's probably the best chance Orange County has had for quite some time. Minute and change past the hour mark, so just under 30 minutes to play with Orange County still in search of an equalizing goal.
And look, we are 61 minutes into the game. Orange County is still yet to register one shot on target. Maguire hasn't had to make one save. So that opportunity that you just had was absolutely massive. Not was it just an opportunity to register a shot on target. It was an opportunity to get yourself on the score sheet, and that's the biggest difference. If you're not getting shots on target, it's inevitable you're not going to score. As we spoke about, it's the quality in the final third that really makes a difference. A fantastic opportunity there for Zubek. As a top striker, he's got to do better in those situations.
Orange County's 5th annual Corporate Cup is coming fast. 7-on-7 tournament. It's designed to be a fun out of adventure for your whole company. Tournament begins Friday, September 27th, with the final taking place at the Champ on October 9th when Orange County takes on Colorado Springs. Head to orangecountysoccer.com/corporate-cup to sign up your team today.
And just going back to some of the stats of the game so far, Orange County have had 3 shots so far in the 60 minutes. Maybe 1 shot every 20 minutes, 4 shots now. They've had 0 shots on target. They've had 53 final third entries. So for the final third entries that they have, nothing has amounted to being threatening to goal. However, on the other hand, North Carolina have had 9 shots, 3 of those being on target, 1 of those obviously being a go-ahead goal, and just 36 final third entries. So despite having less final third entries than Orange County, they've been able to be more clinical, more threatening with the final third entries that they've had.
Flood. Near side, Hagar. This is Cam Dunbar. I think the flag's gone up. Yes, offside. Ends the sequence. You had talked about earlier, Chris, that the longer it stays 1-0, the antsier the crowd is going to be. We're starting to hear a little bit of that.
Yeah, and North Carolina had chances to put this game to bed. You have a chance there from Zubak, which ties this game up, and it's not in this game. You don't necessarily get what you deserve, so you have to take those chances in order to ensure that you come away with the result you want.
Well, that's a giveaway, but the offside flag goes up. I think Orange County are claiming that because it was a defensive intervention, that the offside flag should not have gone up, and I think they actually might have had a point on that. North Carolina get a bit of a break.
This hasn't essentially been a very dirty contested game. There's not been many yellow cards or red cards or any kind of feisty tackles in this game as yet. It's been a fairly friendly, I wouldn't say friendly in the sense of the competition, but a fairly well contested game from a competitive standpoint, which is a complete contrast to the Miami FC Loudoun game, where Miami FC finished the game with just 9 players, actually played a lot of the second half with just 9 players. 2 players getting red cards, 1 for dissent, the other for tackles that the referee perceived were yellow card infringements. Just 1 yellow card so far in this game that went to Batista in the first half.
It's been clean as far as that's concerned, the cards. For now, still 25 minutes to go. This is the league of late twists, it feels like at times. Perez trying to direct traffic here, didn't have too many options. Malou, the goal scorer for Brewer. And Batista for Martin.
I think Martin, when he receives that ball in the pocket, he can just do a little bit better job of maybe facing forward. His body orientation, his positioning when he receives it from the diagonal pass from Batista, he's in enough time and space where he can receive on his back foot and be in a position where he can look forward on his second touch, but just needs to orientate his body slightly differently.
Armstrong. You can see his idea, didn't come off for him.
Similar to Scott in that situation, you see he receives on his back foot, and because now his eyes are up, his head's up, he's able to see the forward pass rather than his body positioning forcing him to play backwards. He always has the opportunity to play backwards, but now he's able to open up the game and play forward. dangerous situation. The speed of play, you can see the tempo of the game slow down a lot. And as we spoke about, North Carolina only in the lead by 1 goal. That can change at any point. I feel like they still need to possibly push forward for that second goal to give them a little bit of breathing room, because the opportunity we saw from Zubak is just one mistake, one set piece could completely flip the trajectory of this game.
That's going to be 44 for 8.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Long throw into the penalty area. Not the best of clearances here. It's kept alive. Anderson looking for space. Shot is blocked. Another opportunity hits Anderson, who was on the ground almost. And Orange County have a chance to break up the other end. Zubak's played in. Zubak's offside. Sequence will end here. Flag is up. Referee just acknowledged it. It was at the very early part of the sequence. Anything after that is a moot point.
That's the danger we spoke about with just having the 1 goal in front. There's that counter-attack, but fantastic work despite being offside. Look at the recovery run from Brewer here. Covers so much ground to get goal side of the ball, irrespective of whether the referee blows his whistle or the linesman puts his flag up. Brewer was sprinting back there to put Zubak under pressure, and I think he would have won the ball either way.
Looks like we are going to see Raheem Summersall come on here for North Carolina. It's a Metaquip substitution. Perez is off. And it does look like Orange County is going to bring on Ryan Dogman as well. Chris Hagart was running to the near touchline. That's because he will leave us on a second Metaquip change, and certainly Ryan Dogman could be a potential game changer.
Yeah, that phase of the game, the last 20-25 minutes, where you want to bring in some fresh legs and freshen things up for a bit. It's going to be interesting whether North Carolina take the posture of trying to go for the second goal, or if they try to lock up shot for these remaining 20 minutes. Orange County, they have no option. They have to try and get the equalizing goal, let alone getting the winning goal. They have to be a little bit more forward thinking. They have to be a little bit more aggressive and throw bodies forward, which is going to leave them open with spaces for the counter-attack for North Carolina to exploit.
Just over 20 minutes plus stoppage time left. Justin Malou's first half goal is standing up right now to give North Carolina a massive 3 points in the Eastern Conference playoff chase if they can get it over the line. Scott tried to switch the point of attack. Orange County will settle for a throw.
Game's changed a lot from the first half. The first half of the battle was a lot between Armstrong and Lamb. Hardly mentioned their names, either of them, too much in the second half. Game switched to being a little bit more centralized. It's been Scott in the middle of the park that's been most in possession of the ball a lot.
Gomez. More North Carolina pressure.
Yeah, and I think
pays off here. It's a giveaway. It's played right back through from Martin. And just too far out in front.
And that's Orange County bringing the pressure on themselves. Scott's in the center of the park with the ball, and when he plays it to Chad has the opportunity to play forward. And because he doesn't play forward, he plays backwards and keeps inviting the pressure from North Carolina. And eventually, there's a turnover. They have to be a little bit more forward thinking when they have possession of the ball and they're in time and space and the opportunity is there to play forward. I don't understand why they turn it down and play backwards. We're in a statistical age where players are so much concerned with seeing high pass completion stats at the end of the game rather than making passes that hurt teams or taking a little bit risk and making risky passes, which you have to take a risk if you want to win games. You're not going to win games by playing safe every time. You need midfielders who have the ability to receive the ball and play forward. And they're in good positions. Their positioning is good. They just have to be a little bit more brave with the decision making and take the responsibility to be that player to turn and face forward. I think that's why we see a change in the profile of centre midfielders to being maybe shorter, more dynamic centre midfielders who can turn in tight spaces and have a low centre of gravity and agility and have that capability to be a little bit more mobile in that sixth position when you're connecting between the defence and the midfield, because they can receive on the half turn and they can turn in tight situations and still play forward. They don't have to be in 10 yards of space left and right and able to play forward. So I think that's part of the reason we've seen the profile of defensive midfielders change over time. Great ball there from Scott.
Chance to maybe get an opportunity here. Was that played off a hand? Referee lets play continue. And that's going to be a foul. Free kick. Armstrong commits the harm on Lamb. Orange County are getting a Med-Equip substitution ready. That's going to be the end of the night for Bryce Jamison, who didn't really make much of an impact. Christian Sordo, he's going to come on. Orange County desperate to find something late.
Yeah, I think North Carolina did a good job of denying that space in behind that Jamison likes to exploit. There was the one time that he did get behind early in the first half and he just didn't have the quality to finish or even to test the goalkeeper for that, but that was just the one chance he had in the game, and North Carolina did a good job of ensuring that the defensive line
from the free kick
didn't allow a ton of spacing behind for Jamison to exploit.
Just goes wide of the target off the header. Good ball in. Not the best of headers, I must say.
And we did say if there's going to be opportunities for Orange County to get themselves back in the game, set pieces could be that. And you saw there a better connection, a better quality header from there. And Orange County have a chance to get themselves back level pegging on the score sheet.
There's the Sorto for Jamison swap. Orange County SC's Foundations first annual golf tournament on the tee with OCSC is taking place Wednesday, September 11th. Strawberry Farms Golf Club in Irvine. Sign up your team today for a chance to play with a player on our website.
And another reason why this is an important test for Orange County, North Carolina have only won one game away from home this season. You don't want their second game to be you if you're Orange County right now. It's not a good look. So, that away game, as we spoke about.
Here's a shot. It's tame in the end for Gomez.
That away game that we spoke about them winning was against Miami FC, which kind of speaks for itself in the form that Miami FC are having this year. So, you don't want their second away win to come against you if you have aspirations of being a strong team come the playoffs.
Orange County has used 4 of its 5 changes. North Carolina has 4 available. They still want to get some fresh legs on for the home stretch here. 15 minutes plus stoppage left as Anderson strides ahead. He's stopped in his tracks.
Yeah, that's where North Carolina just have to be a little bit careful. You don't want to keep giving the ball back to Orange County needlessly and allowing them to now build attacks against you. They have to be a little bit smarter in the position they have it, and when they're going to goal, try to have higher percentage conversion rates into areas or opportunities that have a higher conversion rate, rather than head down and just running into trouble as Anderson did in that situation. They just have to be a little bit more composed in their possession and decision making. But in regards to the substitutions, Orange County have made 4 substitutions, and while that does bring on fresh legs, it can also bring a little bit of lack of chemistry and a little bit of lack of cohesion between the players. North Carolina, on the other hand, if it's not broken, there's no need to try and fix it. They've been fairly solid and controlled large portions of the game and created good opportunities. So right now they've only made 1 substitution in a wide area with Perez. Unless they're making a substitution here to maybe bring a fresh legs in the attack in the 9 position, or defensive midfielder to kind of provide a little bit more stability and strength through the center of the park in the closing phases. I don't necessarily see there's a reason to make a substitution just because.
Martin getting away from Dunbar. North Carolina don't have to rush too much. McGuire playing with a little bit of fire there, gets it away.
I was going to make a Man United joke, but I won't. I won't make a Man United joke. I'll leave Maguire alone.
I was going to say, there was that crazy goal in MLS a few weeks back as well, where the goalkeeper was thoroughly caught out as well. I think that was in Atlanta. Goalkeeper got snuck up on from behind and ended up giving away the game-winning goal.
Great switch of play there again from Scott. Has a very good range of passing, whether it's shorter passes, it has the ability to play longer passes in behind.
It looked like it might have been handled, actually, by an Orange County player. I don't think the referee saw that. North Carolina are asking one or two questions of the referee here. Play is going to continue on. The arm was extended and made contact. Dunbar, meanwhile. Dogman trying to play it across. Brewers there. It's a corner for Orange County.
Solid defending there from Brewer, pumping himself up with the interception. But I always catch 22. You made the interception, but now there's a corner kick. What happens if you go in it? Concede from the corner kick? I think soccer's a little bit different in these moments, that you could make a great tackle and concede in the next play. You kind of just make sure you have to stay focused on what you're doing rather than celebrating situations like that.
Flood's ball in. He's going to be headed out of play. And not really any clean contact on some good service.
And I say that because when I played, I was a midfielder who made a lot of tackles, a lot. And I didn't stop and celebrate and like fist pump or like do anything. If it's a tackle, you make the tackle, you get yourself back into shape, you get your position and you get organized. We see a lot of players make tackles, standard tackles, I don't even think sometimes spectacular tackles, and they're fist pumping and cheering up the crowd. I'm not necessarily that minded. I think if you make that tackle, you're probably out of position now. You probably need to get yourself back into position, get organized, make sure you're in a good position for the next phase of play rather than celebrating a small stoppage in the game.
Well, not everybody can have the poise of a Chris Nurse out there every match.
I don't know. I think it's the different cultures in sports integrating. You see that a lot in American football. People make a touchdown, they stop, they celebrate. I think in soccer, the game is so free-flowing endurance that there's so much happening so quickly. You kind of have to forget, move on extremely quickly.
Justin Malou's the player who's down. He's the only man who has scored today, and he hadn't scored all season before tonight.
And it's a great header. He's up against two players, but the whip and the delivery on the ball from Maldonado gives him not too much to do. He just needs to get his head on it, glance it on frame, and the ball does the rest in the back of the net. Gave Gomez no chance. And that's the goal that's giving North Carolina lead right now going into the last 10 minutes of the game, looking to get their second win on the road this season and pick up points to get themselves back into the playoff hunt for their first year back into the USL Championship. We know that it's not their first year. They're not really a true expansion team, so to speak. They've had success, regular season champions, playoff champions over the years at second division level in the US. It's the return of North Carolina, I would say, to USL Championship. But needless to say, I think marginal goals, marginal successes, getting themselves into the playoffs in their first year returning would definitely be a win. And then you take it from there, one game at a time.
Malou is out, his night is done. Jaden Cervania is going to come on for the remainder in Orange County. It's so funny how sometimes these games fly by. All of a sudden, you look up, they've only got 10 minutes left to save themselves something. North Carolina gets a free kick that can help them. Use up some more clock. I think the only good news right now for Orange County is that the Rowdies did equalize in Seaside. It's 1-1. Tampa Bay and Monterey Bay. A Bay derby, if you will.
Bay.
Martin. Oh, he scoops it into space. Good ball across as well, but it's cleared away. Battle for it continues. Zuback trying to get past Maldonado. Summersall keep it in possession with North Carolina. Another reason it's important for North Carolina to win is Pittsburgh's ahead right now in Sac Republic. They're a couple minutes behind us.
Cervania, 14 appearances in the USL Championship this season.
It's a lovely give and go. Martin has a chance to play this in, and Conway couldn't get a clean touch on it. If he had, he could have been in.
Just unable to organize his feet there enough to get his strike off.
10-ticket flex packs are the best way to attend multiple matches or use all 10 for your friends and family out on a match at the Champ. Head to orangecountysoccer.com/flex-packs for more info.
Sylvania, 2 seasons with Birmingham Legion, 3 seasons North Carolina FC, over 115 professional appearances and 14 caps for Puerto Rican national team. It's not a bad player to be bringing off the bench going into the last 15 minutes of the game.
It's a poor clearance. Conway, though, didn't get a clean touch again, and Dogman comes out with it. And that's kind of epitomized the second half for Orange County. No clean passes into the final third. Anderson, meanwhile, can thread a pass through. There'll be a chance here for Carolina. Cervania surveys the scene. Lays it off for Martin, who can certainly strike them, but again, it's not a clean touch.
Yeah, I think Anderson needed to play that ball a little further ahead of Cervania, and he would have been through on goal. Unfortunately, it was to his feet, so it stopped his forward momentum. Cervania then didn't have an option to play forward, so then he was smart, kept possession of the ball. And this is what North Carolina need to do for the remaining minutes of the game, is manage the tempo of the game, be smart in possession of the ball. These moments drain the clock. I think they need to make sure as a team, they all collectively have the same objective going into this last 10 minutes of the game, and it's to ensure they leave with 3 points, and that's going to take a team effort defensively, but ensuring that everybody's responsible in possession of the ball and making good choices. Whether that be going to the corners sometime and holding, whether that be maybe not playing that forward pass or that risky pass in this phase of the game and playing the higher percentage passes. This is where that experience and that game management comes really into play.
Christian Sorto is the first Orange County player to be booked tonight.
Yeah, for Orange County, tonight's game, unfortunately, sorry to say, has been a huge disappointment for them. You're looking for a reaction to keep your playoff dreams alive. You're playing against a team that's only won once away from home all season. They're also in a similar situation in their conference, trying to get into the playoffs, and there's not been much from Orange County whatsoever.
Ooh, that was a chance at another free header. Batista was in the area. And actually, it looks like this is going to go against North Carolina. Flag might have gone up here. So Orange County get possession back. And just to piggyback off what you just said there, Chris, Paul Hardiman was happy with a decent amount of the Birmingham performance despite the loss, because at 1-0 down, they made life very difficult on the Legion and had chances to score. Orange County have barely created anything of note in the second half tonight.
Yeah, not just the second half, the first half also. You can also feel the very deflated atmosphere in the crowd. We're at 85 minutes and Orange County have not registered one shot on target. How are you going to win the game if you don't get shots on target? That's a huge problem. And on the other hand, they've conceded opportunities. Well, North Carolina could have scored 2 or 3. They haven't, which has allowed Orange County to stay in the game, but this game could have been wrapped up a while ago. But this is always the topic of debate, where the game has been a little bit more possession-based, a little less transitional, a little less direct than it's been in prior years, where you're going 85 minutes in the game and you've not had a shot on target. Then what has the objective been of your possession, or what have you worked on to create goal-scoring opportunities?
Orange County is going to have to summon some of the magic that we've seen from them at times this season, getting results when it looks like they're the underdogs. And Cam Dunbar nearly snuck in behind. Again, it's still only 1-0, so Orange County can just create one moment. Dunbar was looking for that. He's told to get back up by the referee. North Carolina, the beneficiaries. Conway leads them upfield. Conway continues on, plays it into the penalty area, and it put too much on it for Cervania, but he keeps it going for Armstrong. This is exactly where Carolina wants it.
And if you look at the signings, as we spoke about, Orange County made a signing, Pedro, coming across from LFC Academy. Well, that's a defender. And the woes right now seem to be in creating goal-scoring opportunities. You're not going to ask a defender to come in and improve your goal-scoring opportunities. That's not the solution. Now, yes, he may be a player that you develop and sell in the future, but you also need to be thinking about performing right now. The paying fans that are coming into the stadium, they want to see entertainment. They want to win games. They want to be competing for championships. This is a team that's been the playoff champions. So this is a huge anti-climax from what the fans are used to. Obviously, it's going to be questions and situations that need to be addressed and addressed fairly quickly. The season's not over. They can still make the playoffs. But I think there needs to be some adjustments fairly quickly if they're going to fulfill those aspirations. Of course, there's games. There's sometimes games that are 0-0 that are very exciting 0-0 games. However, I have not seen an exciting game 0-0 where there's 0 shots on target.
Maldonado pins one up ahead. Somersault gives chase. Gomez for Dogman. North Carolina have managed the game well, but also part of that is Orange County have just been disjointed tonight. And not been able to get anything going.
And you don't want that one shot that Orange County might get on target in these remaining moments to be the equalising goal.
It could be the chance here. Dogman arrives, and again, he's miscued his touch. And his reaction sums up the night for Orange County.
Yeah, Dogman's touch just completely getting away from him, and we spoke about quality in the final third. The difference is Orange County, and it's hard to not talk about Milan Olowski when you talk about Orange County, but in terms of opportunities, he's a player who would get one shot on goal and finish, or get hat-tricks in games, or create for other players, and they've been unable to find anybody to fill those boots, to provide that same attacking threat. So I think that's obviously where a lot of the problems lie, is that maybe the attack over the past couple of years has been heavily reliant on Olowski, and they've just not been able to find a new way to win in the absence. And this is a case of knowing the players you have. Your players have changed. And not just from last season, your players have changed recently with the injuries that you've had. So sometimes that results in having to change the way that your team plays, to find a new way to create goal-scoring opportunities, or a new way to score goals, a new way to win games. And I think that's what they're going to have to figure out very quickly, is who's available, who do we have, and how do we need to adapt in order to win games or to create goal-scoring opportunities, which is obviously going to give us a better chance of winning games.
Orange County brought on an academy player there, Nico Ruiz, in the attack. One last roll of the dice there. Rafa Mincingen and Rodrigo da Costa on for Evan Conway and Olex Anderson. Clearly substitutions more for the defensive side of the game as we approach stoppage time.
And I don't think there's been a ton of stoppage in this game. There's not too many that I can think of. It's gonna
be a free kick for Orange County. I've been told there's actually going to be a decent chunk of Solfagari Law Firm stoppage time, 5 minutes. In fact,
I wasn't anticipating that. I didn't notice any significant stoppages that would warrant 5 minutes, but there's still time for Orange County.
Justin Malou had a couple injury stoppages. I wonder if that maybe played a little bit of a part in that.
And the 4-5 substitutions, 8 substitutions, well, 1, 2, 3, 9 substitutions in total. I guess it all adds up in the end.
Into the mixer. It's, well, too comfortable for Jake McGuire.
It's wasted. It's very wasted. Some of the fans voicing their frustrations, and I don't think you can fault them.
Scott up ahead for Sorto. Maldonado closes it down in front of John Bradford.
I think you can develop, you can sell, and you can still be a winning team. I think you have to find the right balance of all three.
Batista under pressure gets it away. And Orange County commit a foul, which gets North Carolina closer and closer to the finish line.
Yeah, as you can see, North Carolina in no rush to get this ball back in play, completely allowing the seconds to tick off the clock, which will only frustrate Orange County even further. But it's been one of those nights.
Could end up going down, unless there's some late drama here. That's an 11th loss for Orange County this season. Armstrong is going to get comfortable in that corner for as long as he can.
I think Orange County are going to have to see. I mean, there's no magic wand. They've got to try and get players back healthy, and we know a couple of those injuries that they have are not going to be back this season. So it's going to be a case of who can they get healthy, what reinforcements can they get that are going to address some of the issues or the problems that they're having, and they have to give it a real go from now to the end of the season. Every game is going to be like a cup final, maybe 13 games I think left after tonight, and they're all going to count.
The result holds, North Carolina would stay in 9th, but they'd be 3 points back of Rhode Island for the final playoff spot, and the other big part of that is they would stay ahead of Pittsburgh regardless if Pittsburgh can win at Sac Republic or not. They were 1-0 up the last time we checked.
That's another surprising team to be obviously on the fringe of the playoff. Bob Lilly's Pittsburgh are another team that's normally challenging for #1 on a consistent basis. Few shockers this season.
In both conferences, to your point, as that's going to roll out of play. About 2 minutes left. The update from Sacramento, I should say, is that Pittsburgh is still ahead. Again, slight good news for Orange County is that the Rowdies have actually come back to take the lead at Monterey Bay. So that would keep Orange County, at least for now, where they began the night. Nice little give and go here. Armstrong was followed up there by DaCosta. It's a free kick for Orange County, and Cervania might get a talking to here, maybe more than that.
Strong tackle there from Cervania on Dunbar.
He's booked for that.
It's the type of tackle I like.
I'll go figure. As soon as I said that. Here's another look at the challenge. Ooh, that was a 2-footed challenge from Cervania.
Clean.
Benjamin Meyer and you might have to have a conversation later about that. Monterey Bay just equalized, by the way. As soon as we checked it, 2 goals go in. It's 2-2. So the Seasiders might actually pick up some ground here on Orange County after all. But the big storyline from this will be, if it holds, that North Carolina could pick up a massive, massive win for their playoff hopes.
Yeah, and sometimes you need a win like this, something that they've not done too frequently over the course of the season, to change their fortunes, to change the mindset, to bring a little bit more confidence and a boost to the players and the organisation and the coaching staff. So this performance and this win tonight could go a very long way for North Carolina in going forward to fulfill their playoff aspirations this season.
Martin up ahead. DaCosta gives chase. Great hustle by Martin to keep it going. Surely North Carolina are seconds away here from finishing this off. They do finish it. North Carolina gets a massive jolt to their playoff chances. They win for just the 2nd time away from home this season, and they take down Orange County by 1-0. A first-time goal scorer this season in Justin Malou is your match winner in Irvine.
And as we spoke about, Kyle Scott, I thought, was very good for Orange County again tonight, despite losing the game, and he'll be frustrated. The amount of work that he puts in, the ground he covers, the quality he has, he needs some more quality players surrounding him, and right now there's a lack of that in Orange County with the injuries that they're having, the players that they lost. And, I think it's a tough situation for them right now, but they've got to keep fighting. They've got to find a way.
Orange County's man of the match is Kyle Scott, presented by Hogue. In the end, Orange County was not able to create enough in the final third. They had some opportunities, but we were talking earlier, just not enough, and they end with no shots on target, and because of that, no goals as North Carolina is triumphant on the West Coast tonight. We'll come back after this to wrap things up. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse back here with you at full time in Irvine. Final score is brought to you by Raising Cane's. It's a North Carolina win in Irvine tonight. Justin Malou is the hero, and we get a chance to look at full-time highlights presented by Omega Accounting. We begin in the first half, where most of the Orange County chances came, but a lot of North Carolina opportunities as well.
Yeah, dangerous from corner kicks tonight, North Carolina. Maldonado with delivery at the back post. As we mentioned, the ball goes into the side netting, but unfortunately the wrong side of the upright.
This was Bryce Jamison's biggest involvement and his best chance of the game.
Yeah, great ball in behind, but he just gets his final decision all wrong. Doesn't get a clean connection on the ball. Tries to go to the near post, and I'm not sure if he's going to beat Maguire from there. I think if it goes low and hard across him, he has a much better conversion chance. Wasted opportunity.
Then, in the 26th minute, Evan Conway came to life.
When Conway's running you at a pace, it frightens defenders. You can see this touch is just a little bit long for him. Lamb does a good job of shutting down the space and blocking the shot. Stops Conway from getting his shot off.
That was sort of the first sign that Carolina was really starting to gain momentum, and it led to the only goal.
Brilliant, beautiful delivery here from Maldonado. And the run from Malou into the near post area, the pace of the ball, just uses it, guides it on frame into the netting past Gomez in goal.
Orange County had some opportunities, but this was probably their best chance of the whole game. They didn't get it on target.
Yeah, Zubak, fantastic opportunity here. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Doesn't get it on target. Orange County register no shots on goal in the game. Leads to no goal, leads to no points.
That's the big number when you look at full-time stats brought to you by Hogue. No shots on target for Orange County. It's so rare that you see that, and they get outshot in general by 6 at home by a North Carolina team that just doesn't do that very often.
Yeah, North Carolina have only beat Miami FC this whole season. Is the only team they beat away from home. They come to North Carolina, a different time zone, completely different circumstances, environment. Orange County have the advantage being at home. They completely wasted it today. Poor performance. Rightfully have 0 goals, 0 points.
Nothing poor about what North Carolina did tonight. They have been facing road questions for quite a bit this season. They answered many of them tonight at one of the toughest road venues, especially in the West, to come to. Really impressive performance from John Bradford's group, and Justin Malou is your match winner after he hadn't scored all season. For Chris Nurse and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. We say so long from California. A massive victory for North Carolina's playoff hopes.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.